live.
So my name is Lindsay.
And my name is Christy.
And my name is Ellie. And we are all eating a meat-based nutritious diet.
We will have discussions concerning women's health and their unique perspectives on keto and carnivore diets.
To discuss topics such as motherhood, aging, weight loss, pregnancy, mental health, and much more.
We hope you join us to Chew the Fat on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. See you then, Lionesses.
Woo! And we are live. Woo! Welcome everyone to Lioness Lifestyle Live. So good to see you.
We're so excited to meet with you this evening.
So get your questions ready for our awesome guest, Courtney Luna. If you have a question, please put a question mark or a bunch of Q's or a bunch of question marks in front of your comments so that we can see it easily.
Awesome. It's about time for the Roar of the Week. The Roar of the Week is something that we like to do, and we shout out a comment that one of our awesome viewers has left after the previous show. So without further ado, our Roar of the Week this week is from a lion, you guys. It's not even from a lioness this time. So what's happening? Thank you for sharing your story. I've known people over the years who've had Lyme disease and alpha-gal, but never anyone I've been very close to. It's good to understand the ins and outs of these conditions. I'll check those videos you referenced out. So thank you so much, Bruce, for being this week's Roar of the Week.
Yay. Yeah, Andrea's, her video last week was so awesome. I loved talking to her.
Extremely powerful.
But I'm super excited to talk to Courtney because she's one of the people that I was so excited to bring on the show.
All right, are we ready? We're going to bring her on. Are you guys ready? I don't know if you're ready. All right.
I'm ready.
Hey, Courtney.
Welcome. Here, Courtney in the house.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. We'd love to know your health journey so far, like where you've been and how you found the carnivore diet and all the little juicy details. Please fill us in.
Yeah. Where have I been? I've been everywhere. You name it, I have tried it. My wonky relationship with food started about like 25 years ago, 26. How old am I? When I went to my first Weight Watchers meeting at the age of 13. So it's always been an issue. I was never like hugely obese back then at all. Like I was 13, I was playing soccer. I just like had a little bit to lose. So that's when I started. And I have tried every diet out there, Slim Fast, the Special K cereal diet, grapefruit diet. There's a lot of wild ones out there. And I was always coming from a place of trying to lose weight. I think I equated being thin with being healthy. So I was never doing these because I'm like, oh, I'm trying to be healthy or I think this is good for my body. It was strictly a weight loss thing. Nothing was ever sustainable. I feel like I got a little bit closer to health when I dabbled in paleo. So in 2010, Mark Sisson's book, The Primal Blueprint, I think that's when it came out, or that's when I got it at least. And so I went paleo for a little bit. That transformed into keto, low carb. So I was on and off keto, low carb for the last like 7-8 years. And never stuck to it during my pregnancies. I gained 50 pounds with my pregnancies. And so I have gained and lost the same 50, 60 pounds quite a few times. So where I was before finding carnivore was I decided to stop what was working for me, which was more of like low carb. And I got caught up in the anti-diet culture BS where to have food freedom, everything is on the table, all foods fit. I am still very bitter about those types of content creators because it's not for me. I've now realized. So I pretty much went on a 4-month binge and gained 40 pounds and was just at like a really, really low place. And my husband was gently suggesting that I go back to keto because that's what worked for me. But I just wasn't ready. Just wasn't ready to do it. And then he started sending me Paul Saladino's TikToks. And he sent them to me for about like a month before we even talked about it. Then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, why are you sending me these videos? Like, should we not be eating vegetables? I'm sorry, this light bulb is flickering. It's probably going to go out. Oh my gosh. So a rave over here.
No worries.
I'm sorry. I can't even turn it off because then I won't have lighting. So
no, you're good. I honestly don't see a flickering, so I think you're okay.
Okay, it looks like a strobe on
Do you
screen
see
for
it?
me.
I
Do you
see it,
ladies?
but it's okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm not
Zoom
seeing
right
it, but then again, I have terrible eyes, so that might not mean anything.
down.
You're fine.
So yeah, I was like, should we not be eating vegetables? Like, that's weird. Like, that doesn't make sense. So, and he's like, I don't know. I got to like look into it deeper. So he was our introduction to this. And I did start off animal based for about 5 weeks. And then I noticed that I could eat like a whole ribeye, be satisfied, but my mouth was still like wanting those blueberries. And I was still trying to watch my carbs. Like coming from a low carb place, I was still like maybe like 50 to 75 carbs at the most. And then after a while, like my husband went straight carnivore. I'm like, should I ditch the fruit? He's like, yeah, like that's what I did. And like everything changed from there. And so I think one of the main things for me learning now is that I'm an abstainer and not a moderator. So like my husband can go off track, have something that's not carnivore, and then go about his merry way, get back on track and not give it another thought. Well, for me, that would just, I mean, that explains my 25 years of yo-yo dieting. Like an alcoholic can't moderate their drinking. Well, I also can't moderate my drinking, but I also can't moderate my sugar intake. So learning that and giving up everything, anything that is sweet, like life has just got amazing. So that's where I am right now.
Awesome.
About 1.5 years carnivore, and I'll never go back.
Yay. I love that story. That makes me so happy. Sorry,
I think it's so funny that your husband was saying like, you know, nice subtle hints. He's like, hey, why don't you try this? What do you think made him so interested in the carnivore diet?
I feel like he probably just like, oh, what is this? He's like the type of person that knows like, I don't even say like a little bit, but a little bit about everything. So for him, it was probably just, it piqued his interest. Oh my gosh, that is so distracting. I'm sorry. I might have to,
No,
I'm sorry,
okay.
there's 3 light bulbs. I might have to like take that middle one out if it keeps doing it. I think he was probably just like curious and then, you know, wanted to dig into it a little bit more. And then, yeah.
That's awesome. In my house, it's the other way around. So I'm the one that went keto and now carnivore. And my husband just, I don't know, like a week ago, he's like, I think I might go low carb. And I was like,
that's amazing.
Because he's first, it was like, you're probably going to die. Okay, he didn't say that, but he was not very, you know, he was supportive, but he wasn't very, I don't know, positive or agreeable about it. About the fact that there was benefits to it and all of that stuff. And he probably just wanted me to be quiet about, you know, all the videos I was binge watching and all of that. And then pretty soon it was like a few more questions and until like a week ago, he's like, I think I might go low carb. So I'll keep you guys posted on what his version of low carb looks like.
But honestly, anything he cuts out is amazing as long as he's cutting out sugars and seed oils. It has taken me quite a while to get my husband on board too. I started middle of 2022. I did it because I hadn't had a period in months. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I got pregnant within a month of starting carnivore. And so I was like, well, that probably means something. And then I got pregnant. So I stopped. And then I was just like, so like, since then I've like kind of went off and then I went back on after having my baby. And I always stayed pretty low carb, but now he's like, hey, I don't want to eat sugar. I'm like, that's a huge step.
What is happening?
He'll eat meat. He'll eat the meat and it's just amazing. But like, he's like, I don't want to eat sugar. And I'm like, that is so wonderful. And I'm so happy about that. He drinks diet soda now. So I'm like, that is a huge step in the right direction. Yeah. Anyway, so
wow.
Makes me happy.
Oh, and I have to share my husband. My husband's carnivore with me. That's it.
I'm going to close the light while you do that.
Oh, yeah, do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Go for it. See if you can tighten that light bulb.
Can I just say for a moment, I can't believe both your husbands are like slowly coming on the cuckoo choo choo train.
No, honestly,
That's how they view us.
Modeling. I think modeling is a
Absolutely.
big thing in people's lives. And for like my kids, even if, because I have a 3-year-old, even if he eats crap all day long, like when he's at grandma's house, when he comes home, I don't really give him any of that stuff unless it's somehow seeped into my house and I'm like, well, whatever, you can have that one piece of candy or whatever. And but I try not to give that to him. But then he'll be like, yeah, I don't want to eat a lot of sugar. It makes my belly hurt. And it's just like,
Wow.
like just modeling that and being like, yeah, I can't have sugar because it makes my belly hurt. It makes me itch. It just makes me sick. But the modeling is crazy. But yeah, Courtney, you have kids as well. What do you feed your children? And are they more carnivore, ketovore, low carb? Are they eating standard?
So I would say like they're more animal based. I wouldn't think that they're in ketosis. They do have, so they eat everything we eat. So lots of meat,
Right.
dairy. They do have some fruit. I am mindful about the fruit. I can see their little sugar addiction in fruit and they could easily just eat it all day. So I'm mindful about that. Once in a while, I will give them rice. Like we actually have rice in the house right now. I don't even know why I got it. And then our neighbor makes sourdough bread. But I get the loaf for my stepdad and we'll take like a few slices for them. So they'll have that occasionally. But yeah, I mean, here's our thing. Like, I don't want to cause food issues in them. I don't want them to go somewhere else and then binge on all the crap. So we do try and let them make their own decisions when we are at, like, say, a birthday party or something like that. And there's stuff that, I mean, I don't want them to eat it, but I also don't want to make it a weird thing. So we just try and focus like on the nutrition or on the education side of things. And like, okay, if you have this piece of cake, you know, pay attention to how your body feels and how your tummy feels. And when they're going crazy later, I'm like, okay, see how you're like acting and feeling right now? It's probably because you ate all that crap earlier.
All that
So
sugar.
we try and focus on that. And luckily they love meat. So it's not difficult for that. And then we just kind of talk about, okay, like you're having protein. And my 3-year-old, she's so cute. She'll be like, fat is flavor. So they love it. And so like when they want a piece of fruit, I'm like, okay, well, we need to at least like pair it with the protein. So I'm just trying to like teach them to be mindful of stuff like that. And I feel like, you know, they're eating so great at home that if they do have some crap when we're out, you know, they're young. I'm assuming they're metabolically flexible and healthy and like that. So they're doing better than 99% of all the other kids out there. So I feel like, you know, that's a win. We're just trying to do the best we can.
I
Courtney,
completely agree.
You are speaking to my soul, girl. I'm all about like the kids nowadays, and I just want them to eat the best diet that they can. And I don't look down on anybody who like does low carb or keto or carnivore or animal based for their kids. I just think that if we can just lower the carbs and the sugar consumption while also, you know, prioritizing fatty meat, I think that's just like, I think you're doing an amazing job. I want to talk to you more about that actually. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, so my kids are older. I have an 18-year-old and a 15-year-old. I don't really control their diet like we do when they're younger. But I made a meatloaf last night, and my youngest son, who has major texture issues, won't try anything, won't eat anything, ate a giant hunk of that meatloaf. I couldn't believe it.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
It was, like, I know anyone that knows me and knows my son, that's like a huge shocker. He enjoyed it. I mean, if he didn't
is that the kid that would spit out anything that you'd give him when he was a baby?
Yeah, he would like throw up if you gave him anything that wasn't totally pureed all the way through preschool. Major texture issues.
All the way through preschool.
Yeah, he was eating baby food all the way up through preschool because anything else you'd feed him, it was the opposite of eating. It wasn't just gagging, it was throwing up.
Oh man.
So I kept trying and he just kept throwing up. So
poor kid. Poor you. Poor mom.
Miracles are happening, man. This is amazing.
He snarfed down, I don't know, 8 ounces, 10 ounces of meatloaf. Yeah.
Mike says that meatloaf is amazing. I'm gonna make it.
So recipe coming out December 1st, but then stay tuned because we have a fun relay Recipe relay coming up. Courtney, this sounds right up your alley. I should have invited you, dang it. Next time.
Yeah.
Because Courtney has the best recipes. Speaking
Yeah,
of Courtney, you're gonna have a cookbook coming out next year. Are you like, you're probably in the thick of it right now though, right?
Yeah, I cry probably like 1 to 2 times a week. It's a lot. Yeah,
You'd
and
probably cry more if you weren't eating carnivore though.
this is true. Yes, I did used to cry a lot more. Yeah, it's like self-induced stress because my publishers told me that I can choose the timeline. So whenever I wanted like my deadline to be, they were flexible. But me having zero patience, I'm like, no, we need to get this out like as soon as possible. So I gave myself a 6-month deadline, which for like a normal person that's not doing anything during the day, that's plenty of time. But I shouldn't say like normal person, but you know what I mean? Like I'm also a stay-at-home mom, homeschooling, so juggling all that with social media stuff and this, like, okay, Courtney, that's like 6 months is a little insane. So yeah, I've got, my deadline is January 31st. So we're almost, more than halfway there. And I'm like, oh shoot, like the time it's sneaking up on me. And I have a lot to do. I'm a little concerned about hitting this deadline on time.
But it's good to have a deadline because for me, I'm like a super procrastinator. So if I don't give myself a deadline, I'm like, well, I have time. I'm good.
Oh, 100%. And that's why I'm so grateful to be working with this team, because I told my husband like months and months ago, I'm like just wishing for things. I'm like, it would be ideal, because I've been wanting to do a cookbook. I'm like, it would be ideal if I could actually like work with the publishing company. So I have someone holding my hand, giving me these deadlines, like keeping me on track. And asking you shall receive, because now I got that. But yeah, if I was doing this on my own, 100% probably wouldn't even started the first page at all.
Yeah. And that's, that's so great that you have a team that supports you and just kind of pushes you to keep going and everything. That's amazing.
I'm really curious. Can you tell us like how many recipes do you think are going to be in the book? How many have you done? Like, how are you feeling about your progress? It seems like you're a little stressed out. Sorry.
I think in my contract it said, because we talked about all this and they asked me, they're like, do you want it to be 5 recipes or 200? Like they were very, very amazing to take into consideration what I wanted. So I said, like, let's do minimum of 75, maybe more if I'm on a roll. So I think they might have even put like 75 to 125. And I'm like, yeah, no, like as we're going, I'm like, we're going to be lucky to hit the 75. And so right now I'm at a point where I need to be doing like 4 a week. And that's been a lot. And I also need to do, it's going to be just more than just recipes. In the beginning, they want like my story. They want some of the science behind why we eat this way. Why should we eat this way? Meal plans, grocery lists. So there's a lot of other stuff other than the recipes. And I'm like, when am I going to get this done? Like it's creeping up very quick.
I'm excited for those parts. That's going to be so amazing to see.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good. And it will definitely, it needs to be in there. I'm saving that part for last. I'm trying to get all the recipes done, and I'll have like 2 weeks till my deadline to get the other stuff done, which I don't know if that's even enough time. But that's where we're at. And I can't wait for it to be done, to actually like, okay, there's still going to be a lot of work. You have to move on to like the editing part, but to actually like, get that submitted will be amazing.
I think we both hit it at the same time. Sounds
I just can't wait to hold it
also great.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Because I went to school for technical writing, so like I can totally like picture and see like all the things that you have to do. And do you have a writer that's helping you with it, or you're just you?
An editor. Yeah, they gave me like a 70-page pamphlet or document on how to write a recipe, and I'm like, oh my god! And it's essentially like me doing the best I can, her sending it back with the entire thing read. Like I'm like worried that she's probably like, oh my gosh, this chick. Because it's just, I'm not a writer. So I'm trying to go by their guidelines, but I don't write recipes, like it's just funny because it's like I share my food on social media. That's what I'm passionate about. Now I have to be Steven Spielberg and figure out how to create videos to share my food. Now I have to be a writer and write down. I don't know. It's just a lot of things that are like not in my wheelhouse that you kind of have to become to share your journey. So.
Yeah. So Becky says, we appreciate your hard work on this, Courtney, and look forward to supporting your endeavor. So
Yeah, I can't wait for that pre-sale that you're going to do.
Yes, and there'll be some fun bonuses for the pre-sale too. We'll make it fun and worth everybody's while to grab it early and all that. So
cool.
Hopefully you'll have time to do those things.
Yeah. They're like, oh yeah, like 10 recipes that won't be in the book. I'm like, what?
You're like, what?
Oh my goodness.
Well, because 75 wasn't enough, obviously.
Right?
Right, but it'll be after they start publishing though.
Mm-hmm.
So you can come up with those later, couldn't you? Like, yeah.
Yes. My
That'll give
deadline's
you a little bit of time. Ooh, and then Mike says, and then the book tour.
Well, Mike, thank you. I don't know who would show up at my book tour. It's not like
I would be there. Come to
Okay, good. We've got you guys and my mom.
Courtney.
3 whole
Yeah, and
people.
my parents. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I don't know.
I could maybe get my mom to come.
I don't think that's going to happen. It's not like, a celebrity is putting out a book where there's all this like huge following already. Like I don't have that. So I don't know. I mean, I don't see a book tour happening, but I know like, cause I do have a publicist with this team and they'll be pitching me for like different, news shows, Good Morning America. Lord knows if they'll even bite at that, but just different podcasts and stuff. But yeah, I don't know if
of it. Yeah.
What?
Well, just with the content of the book, I think they might bite because it's controversial and it's
very controversial.
I do think there's a chance because they might be like, what the hell is this? Like,
I
think
eat meat?
Meat-based eating. Weird. Carnivore diet.
Yeah, so you never know.
But Courtney,
you have a title for it and everything? Oh, sorry. Like, you don't have to say what it is, but do you have a title?
Yeah, I can't say it yet, but we do.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask you because I see so many comments on your videos about gas and fiber. Like, I thought fiber was important. Like, what is happening? How are you?
You seem so sincere, Ellie.
Don't we
no
need
sarcasm
fiber?
Detected.
Fiber's important.
Fiber,
I don't understand. That's what they're going to get at you with it.
Yeah, it's important if you want an irritated gut, for sure.
Exactly.
Adrian asking if I have a maid. Yeah, you want to look around my house right now? There is no one's doing anything around here.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's a disaster.
Yeah, I had a pile of dishes like twice the height of my sink today, and I sent a picture after I got it all out. I'm like, look, Ellie, I did it. And Ellie sends back. She's like, you made me do it too. It's the momentum. We got to do it. It's great.
Yeah, it's bad when my husband like brings out the vacuum. I'm like, okay, I guess I've neglected the house long enough. Like, yeah, it's just there's so much that like I feel like everything's just getting my attention like half-ass, essentially.
Well, you're kind of busy.
You know what? A few more months, I feel like it's just a wonky season. And yeah, my husband is amazing. But we're just doing the best we can to survive each day.
Ellie, you're such a good actress.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Thank you so much, Becky. Be or not to be. Carnivore. You should do it. It's my acting for you.
But yeah, so Courtney, I almost called you Luna, which, that's half of your name. But since I kind of went back to Carnivore, I've just I found you and I was so excited because you make such good recipes and it just makes me so happy to find someone that speaks to my soul. I'm not doing Carnivore now, but I do meat-based. So I do Carnivore recipes a lot. And I love your recipes. So thank you so much. I'm so excited for your book. Can't wait for pre-order. It's going to be immediate. I'll be like, okay, click. Bye.
Credit card.
Where's the dang credit card?
So, Courtney, can you talk to us a little bit about food freedom? And do you have that now? What does food freedom mean to you? And has Carnivore helped you achieve that?
Yeah. I mean, people ask me that all the time. How do you have food freedom? You're not eating anything. It's to me, food freedom is not mentally obsessing about it every single day. when I was eating all the things. Like keto treats even really had a hold on me. But even when I was, on my 4-month binge, but when I was keto and like tracking macros even, and still having those treats, it would be like I was still constantly thinking about it. Or, you make like, say like a keto donut or something. And it's like, okay, do I have one? Does it fit in my macros? Okay, let's not try and eat them all. Or you eat them all and then you restrict the next day. So like the mental gymnastics I would go through on a daily basis because this sugar, even if it's fake sugar, had a hold over me. So completely removing it from my diet has been life-changing. That whole, again, like the abstainer versus moderator, like this is something like I just did a video about it a couple days ago. Like this is something I feel like that needs to be talked about a little bit more because I feel like when I heard that term, like things just clicked and it's like, oh my gosh, like, yes, no wonder this didn't work this whole time, So for me, food freedom is just mentally being free from that food that has a hold over you. And it's disappointing to see people like dismiss it. Like they don't think that you can have this like addiction to sugar. But I don't know if my parents are watching this, so I won't go into detail, but drugs and alcohol were way easier to give up than sugar was. I'll just leave it at that.
No, I don't doubt that. Like I've heard that sugar is more addictive. It's a more addictive substance than like cocaine. And that is insane to me. Than meth, something that like really completely destroys people's lives. Sugar can't quite do that. I don't think just because of it doesn't alter your mind the same way, but it is so addictive. And like, I'll tell people that, I don't eat sugar. I have sweeteners and stuff, but I don't eat sugar, especially not added sugars. And then they go, I could never do that. And I'm like, a year and a half ago, before I started doing it, I was like, I could never do that. It's just crazy. I'm like, I could do that now. It's so easy. If someone shows me a cupcake, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't want that. Doesn't even look good.
Yeah.
But before I would have scarfed it down in a half second.
Yeah. And it's hard because we have to eat every day. You don't do drugs, or you don't have to do drugs and do alcohol to like survive, but we have to eat to survive. So I think that's kind of where like it gets a little bit messy because we have to eat. So when your addiction is something that's part of what you have to do on a daily basis, it can get a little wonky.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm an abstainer like you, but I do find that, for example, at Thanksgiving, we had 2 Thanksgivings, one side of the family and the other one. And my aunt always brings the desserts. And I was planning on abstaining from those desserts. And then she was so nice as to make a keto cheesecake. So I compromised and I had the filling, which just had a little swerve in there. But other than that, it was some swerve for the sweetener, but it was like egg, cream cheese. And then the crust, which was almond flour, I just left and didn't eat that. I felt okay about that. But I was pretty fine. Like the next day, I did think to myself, man, that cheesecake was good, but it was like a super slight craving that I could just kind of kick to the curb. It didn't like take over my mind and be like, I'm going to go get all the cream cheese and like eat it right now. It didn't. I was just like, I'm a lot more self-aware now, I think, because I did say to myself, because I haven't had a desire for that in a while. And here I am thinking about that cheesecake for half a second. And then I just said, and kick that thought, right out. Whereas before, I definitely would have, that one bite of cream cheese would have made me go in for cream cheese for the next, week every day and probably increasing the amount. But that was the first thing I've had. My aunt was so kind.
I mean, I kind of look at it like, you can make exceptions for certain things. But I think like if in the future, maybe my kid makes a cake for someone's birthday and they're like so excited they made this cake, even if it has full sugar, I'd probably still take a bite because I'd be like, my kid made that. And I just like, I keep hearing this. I don't remember who it was. There was this guy that was like, my child made a cake and I just didn't even eat it. And they were sad. And then I felt really bad. And, what's one bite of cake, and I'm just, and for some people, it does not work. Courtney, it might not work for you, but for me, I kind of do more. I can maintain things and I can stay away from things. I might eat it for like a day and then I'll be like, okay, I'm sick, I can't do that, and then I won't eat it for a long time. And then but other people are not that way, and I think early on I couldn't have done that. I had to cut things out to begin with, specifically for me. And then I have other people that I know that, like Christy, that needs to cut it out for the most part, but you had a little piece of cheesecake and that was fine too.
I did. It was
But
maybe an inch thick at the bag. It was a little sliver, but you know what? It was enough too. Like when I took the first bite, I'm like, oh,
yeah,
that's good. I might have to have another. But by the time I got to, I was like, I'm good.
The cream fills you up. It's very filling.
For me,
and the sweetener isn't as addicting.
Yeah.
That's true. I was just gonna say, for me, I made like a keto pumpkin bread for like the kids for Thanksgiving, and the moment I smelled it, I was like, this smells like, and it had like swerve or whatever, and it's like, this smells like something from a bakery. Like this smells like a real like pie or bread or whatever you want to call it. And I just kept thinking about it. Good thing I had it in like a cake stand with a lid, because like the smell, I don't know if you guys have felt this way with your sense of smell. It is it's heightened. And I feel like
not as stuffed up.
yeah, I felt like I had to choose to abstain, because I don't think I've been doing carnivore long enough. It's been a little over 200 days. I don't think I've done it long enough to like be able to, partake in some things that are off plan, and I don't know how I would do. For me, I'm doing a full year of carnivore, and then maybe I'll start to reintroduce things, but definitely not pumpkin bread. That's not on the list. But
that's not the first thing you'd add in.
No,
sure.
Absolutely not.
I love this comment from Gail. If everyone suffered horrible pain after eating sugar for the first time, they'd never eat it again. But once you get addicted, you just stock up on those painkillers. In high school, I don't know who called me this. Someone called me the walking pharmacy, because I would always have Tylenol and ibuprofen, because I'd always have horrible headaches, back pain, horrible issues. And I'm like, I never understood why. And now I'm 99% sure why. But yeah, you just stock up on those painkillers and you give them to your friends, because they also are in pain from the sugar they're eating at lunch and snacks from the vending machines and things.
Yeah, I used to have regular headaches, and that sometimes would be a migraine. I used to take so much ibuprofen, and now I can't remember the last time.
Speaking of Courtney, what are some things that you've healed from that you, other than like weight loss, what are your favorite things that you've healed from?
Yeah, so some of my favorite are things I didn't even know what to expect. I kind of blindly jumped into doing this way of eating. My husband is like the researcher, so he was watching like Barry's YouTubes and stuff. So I feel like he's so knowledgeable that if he says it's fine, then I blindly trust what he's saying. So I didn't know what to expect. I went into it again for just weight loss. It wasn't until I was doing all this that I realized, oh my gosh, there's so much more than just weight loss and health. Like there's so much more. So for me, I was able to go off of my Zoloft for depression.
Wow, that's amazing.
My acne, I struggled with acne like forever. My skin has cleared up drastically. And let's see, just like tummy issues, like digestion and stuff, like zero gas, which like people are like, wait, what? Like it's so normal to like go around tooting all day, like especially like keto with all that fiber, like the freaking low carb tortillas I would eat, I'd have like 50 grams of fiber. They tore my stomach up.
and the broccoli, probably. I'm sure you ate some broccoli.
So like, not have that is great. What else? I mean, like lab result wise, like my A1C went down. I was pre-diabetic, which I didn't even know. Like I didn't even know that was an issue till I got my labs on Carnivore, and I was like, oh, okay, well that improved. So yeah, I'm sure there's more. Nothing's coming to mind right now, but I feel like my biggest thing that I want people to like realize is the mental health side of things. And there's still people that like push back against that. And they're like, how dare you say that? I'm like, what? Like, what? I'm not
like, if it helps you, then what's the harm? I don't know. I just
exactly.
yeah.
They're appalled that I'm even saying there's a link between what we eat and our mental health, but it is because it's
Right. Oh yeah.
like depression is essentially like inflammation of the brain, and if you're eating a bunch of crap, you know, and they're even calling it like, what are they saying? Like Alzheimer's is like diabetes of the brain. So
Diabetes 3.
Yeah, type 3 diabetes.
yeah. So I mean, there's a
Wow.
definite link, and I'm really bummed and disappointed that my psychologist and my OBGYN who ended up giving me the prescription, they both suggested it. No one once asked like what I was eating. Like it's like they just don't care or don't realize that there's a link. So yeah, I feel like that's been the most major one for sure.
And putting you on that medication, was there ever any plan to take you off, or was it just you're going to take this Zoloft and you're just going to take it now, and that's just going to be what you do?
Yeah, it was never mentioned to have an end game.
You're just like, here you go,
chalked
forever
up,
and ever.
yeah, it was chalked up to like postpartum depression, and it was just, there you go. So yeah, I'm the one that saw, I was on such a high dose at one point, and it made me so numb, like zero feelings. So we lowered it, and it was such a low dose where it wasn't enough, but I was able to tell a difference while I was still on it from eating this way. So I'm like, oh shit, sorry, I don't know if I should not cuss. My language is always horrible. I'm like, wow, like I really feel a difference, like in my mood. Like, how is this even possible? Like, I didn't know it'd be a possibility. I didn't watch a lot of influencers in the beginning, so I didn't know. So I was surprised when I started to not be so miserable.
Yeah, I completely understand that. Like, I was on antidepressants for a really long time as well. And it was when I started doing keto was when I was able to like start really seeing like the mental clarity, the depression going away. I had really bad panic attacks. So I'm glad that you're speaking out about these things, because you don't have to suffer. You don't have to, like I always say, I used to live I was so depressed I lived in my bed for 5 years. I didn't leave my house. I didn't do anything with my life. And I feel like I just wasted those years. If only I had known that it was all linked to diet, you know? And now,
Totally.
so.
And that's interesting you say panic attacks, because I'm just now realizing I haven't had one since being carnivore either. And I didn't even think of it.
Yeah, you need to add that to your list of health benefits.
I totally, and those are scary because I'm like, I'm dying and I'm having a heart attack.
Panic attacks make me terrified. Like I've had anxiety. I don't have it currently. I haven't had it in a long time. Other than like sometimes I have like social media anxiety where I'm like, okay, I need that away from me for a while. But I can step away from that. But yeah, so I used to have anxiety, and that was really awful, but I haven't had it really bad at all since I started doing carnivore either. That's amazing. Since I've done low carb and everything. But I really liked when you said that you were pre-diabetic and you didn't even know, because that's where I was. I did carnivore for a month, and then I went in and I told them the symptoms that I had because I went into my OB and they were like, so we're going to put you on metformin because of all these things. And I was just like, you didn't even test me and you're putting me on this pill. But just because of the symptoms, I told them, but I had already changed my diet. I was feeling better, and they didn't even like take that into consideration for giving me pills. And so I didn't ever take the metformin. I did get the prescription, and I like sat there looking at the pill bottle like, do I even need this? I don't know. I'm trying to change my diet. I feel better. Why do I need this? I'm not even itchy anymore. I was just like sitting there, and then the next day I found out I was pregnant. So I was like, I'm so glad I never took the metformin. And yeah, it's just crazy.
Well, I had struggled with anxiety and social anxiety, but then, and I didn't know it until it kind of went away in brain fog, which you've all heard before. Mm-hmm. But something struck me that Robin, Carnivorous Grandma, said, and she talked about like stopping driving on the freeway and stuff because she just couldn't do it anymore. So instead of taking like 10 minutes to get somewhere, it would take her like an hour and all this kind of stuff. And I was never that severe, which is probably why it never hit me. But like it used to be where I was so like I'd be on the freeway and just like, okay, I have to change lanes now. And like, looking 25 times and like thinking I'm probably going to hit somebody. And I just realized one day that I was like, I drove down the freeway and just like changed lanes like a normal person. Like I checked once and didn't think it, like check in a safe manner, changed lanes and wasn't freaked out about it. It was pretty cool.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, yeah, and then Carrie says, "Yep, panic attacks are awful. Haven't had one since carnivore, almost a year." So, I think we can all kind of relate to the clarity that we have and being able to process what's happening better. I can process the things around me better. I don't get as angry as quickly with my kids, and I don't know. It's much better. But yeah, I you did say, Courtney, that you get some hate online, like some things. I was
Spill the
wondering. Actually, this is a question that I think Ellie put on here. That you've had accusations of having an ED because you eat a meat diet, and then how do you respond to the hate comments and the accusations that people bestow upon you? Shall I say?
Yeah, the eating disorder comment, that's one that really like chaps my ass, because I feel like not only are they wrong, but I think it's so inappropriate. Like, who are you to be going around diagnosing people with this, first of all? And that's the thing. They feel like you need to eat all foods in moderation to be healthy or to have, normal eating. Like, you should be able to have some Oreos, and that's good. Heaven forbid you remove that, then it's
No,
disordered
not
eating.
that one.
It's like, I have talked to so many people. There's a lot of people in the carnivore community coming from an eating disorder, background, anorexia, bulimia, whatever. Like, they are thriving and healing their issues from eating this way. So that one, yeah, that really, it bothers me, because I feel like 25 years of yo-yo dieting is disordered eating and binging and restricting and all that. So to say that's what's happening now, when I feel my absolute best physically and mentally, it really bothers me.
Yeah,
I get angry too, girl. I've seen like some of the comments that people leave, and I just like want to be keyboard warrior and protect Courtney. Like, stop it, man.
Ellie's a great keyboard warrior. And she's come to my aid a couple times. It's really cute.
I like to keep the peace, but then like people just get me mad. I'm just like, okay, I got to put you in your place so you learn something, and then I just walk away, because I mean, I don't want to like encourage like arguments and stuff like that, because that's just as toxic,
Yeah.
But I feel like people just say such horrible things that it's just like,
Send them to Dr. Barry.
No, yeah, please, like, exactly. Maybe they just don't know, and it just breaks my heart that it's like you've come so far, and like obviously like you're doing well with your shorts and your YouTube videos, and then it's just like all this success, but they're gonna just like take your face and smush it in the sand just because they don't agree with you. It's like you're living the best you've ever lived, and you're thriving, and it's just like it makes me mad. So I'm glad you brought that up, Lindsay, because that was just I wanted to talk about that.
But Renee says my diet is balanced. Like beef, pork, and seafood. That's super balanced. It's got all of them balanced. It's great.
Mine is balanced too, but it's beef, pork, and chicken. Sorry. No seafood for me.
I like chicken a lot too. I'll eat chicken all the time. It's delicious. You can do a lot of things with chicken. But beef still. Beef is tough. First thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
first thing I look for on sale.
It's for
That's
sure.
The first sales I look for. I'm like, where's the beef? Oh, that's a Wendy's commercial.
You guys are too young for Where's the Beef? Get out of here.
My grandma always says it.
I watched the commercials that they showed in health class.
Back in my day, I'm the old lady up here.
Back in the day.
Yup.
Well,
hey,
you're not old. You don't even look 48, Christy. Come on.
No, you look fantastic.
Still. Thank you. Should we go back and say hi to some people that have chimed in the chat? So we had Brooklyn coming in and saying hi to everybody. So hi, Brooklyn. Susan E says, hi, girls. Hi, Susan.
Hey. Hi, Susan.
Carrie, my metamorphosis. Hi, ladies.
Hi. Hello.
And so much love tonight.
I know. Tons of love. Simpson here.
Everybody.
Simpson, you're awesome. Hello. And Adrian saying hello.
Hi.
Becky, the keto Oregonian herself. Good evening, Lionesses.
Good evening.
And Mike Shaw TV, the weatherman. Good evening from the frozen north. He cannot help it. He's got to get in the weather reports.
It's pretty cold here too.
Yeah.
Like it's like in the 30s right now.
That's what I meant
Cold.
by my little
Not
bee.
frozen, but cold. How is it where you are, Courtney?
It's normal. I'm in Southern California. It's not bad.
Yeah, that's where
Me
Christy
too.
is.
Okay, we got to talk later. I did not know you were in Southern California.
Yeah.
That's where I am.
Okay.
Yeah, you won't like where I am, except
We're
you do cold
neighbors.
plunges, so maybe you would. I don't know.
Oh, I like a cold plunge. Yeah.
But you get out of the cold plunge and go into the warm weather.
That's true.
That's right.
I would go
I
back.
think you
I
and
would go
Christy need
into.
to
I'd
meet
have to go
up.
inside.
I think we need to meet up too, Ellie. I'm like, what? I just got all excited. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm
Guys
in
gotta do a
Orange
video.
County.
Okay, I'm in Riverside County.
Okay, so you're over the hill.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, cool.
I don't know what that means, but I'm so happy for you guys. Like,
Probably
It's
like an
a
hour,
valley
maybe
thing.
45 minutes away.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad at all. Ellie or
I'm
Christy, if
heading
you
to
guys
Orange
were that
County
far
on
away, that'd be nice.
Saturday. I'm sorry, what?
Are you?
Lindsay?
I was just saying, if you guys were only 45 minutes away, I would have already met up with you.
That's
Yeah.
absolutely
You
true.
live far away from me. It's really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm heading to Orange County on Saturday to meet up with another YouTube friend out there
Woo-hoo!
with Nicole, former fat girl, if you know who that is.
you're meeting
don't.
up with her?
Yes, I'm so excited.
Awesome. Nice.
I'm so jealous.
So, anyways, Britt, sorry, I got off
You're just
topic.
gonna have to book a flight,
We
Ellie.
found out Courtney was from SoCal, and I got all like harebrained. Okay, Britt Michelle. Hello, Britt Michelle. Nice to see you.
Hi, Britt.
And we got Lady Fritzader. Hi, Lady
Ooh, that's a
Fritzader.
cool name.
Yeah, and Gail. Hi, Gail.
Meow.
Howdy.
Yeah,
So
howdy.
meow meowdy.
And then yes,
My
Meowdy.
husband wears
I'm
cowboy
meowdy.
boots every
Where's
day, so
Sirs
that's
Lioness?
nice.
Sirs Lioness always says meowdy. Okay, so there's
Oh,
actually a
sorry.
question here from Ren. So, what do you think about kefir? I don't know how to say that. For
Kefir.
hormonal support. Anyone have any
Courtney,
I
what do you think?
don't know, Ren.
Because I have no
I mean,
idea.
For hormonal support, I mean, I drink kefir. It's good. I don't know. I guess that's not my area of expertise.
That might be a question for like Andrea Lee or Dr. Barry or someone that would know. I wouldn't know, but I would say just anything meat-based or animal products could help with hormones. But just kind of listen to your body when you eat it or drink it and see what effects it has on you. Yeah, I'm no expert though. So
I've got nothing. Sorry.
any other questions? That's okay.
I've never even tasted it, so I don't know. I know it's some kind
Yeah,
of.
I know it's
like a
kind of
yogurt,
yogurty, I
right?
think.
Kind of like
right?
yogurt.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like fermented milk. It's like a yogurt
Okay.
drink.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, if you tolerate dairy, then I say go for it. It's delicious. It's good for you. It's good fat. Get some probiotics if that's what you're
Yeah.
wanting. Yeah.
And then we had one more hello. I didn't want to leave Rhonda out. Hi, Rhonda.
Hi, Rhonda. But yeah, post some comments down below for Courtney so that she can answer them. I would love to see. I haven't seen any recently, but I'm also not through all the comments yet. I'm kind of scrolling through them.
I know. I had like 32 more just when I was going.
So many comments.
Oh.
It's a
Oh,
party.
Gail, I had pork belly tonight and it was delicious. By the way, she
No.
said I need to go buy more pork belly. My air fried pork belly turned out so great. Oh, that sounds delicious. I
Yeah,
have never
I
air
really-
fried it though. That sounds really good.
Everyone air fries it, but I don't have an air fryer. But I
Me
just
neither.
discovered it and ate it for the first time. It was delicious. I'm doing it again.
Courtney, do you use an air fryer a lot or not super often?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done pork
Yeah,
belly in the
try it.
air fryer, pan fried it too. I've deep fried it. Yeah, it's good. I'd rather have bacon, but
My husband grills it, and that's really good. I cut it into like thick strips, and then he grills. It's so good. We had that tonight.
Nice.
But yeah, I think that's my favorite way, or making it into like nuggets with some pork panko and Parmesan cheese. But speaking of, what is like your go-to night meal, or even just like any meal that you do for your family? If you were to make like a family meal, what would be your go-to meal for your family?
we usually keep it simple. I mean, I guess not always. If I'm doing like cookbook stuff, then they'll eat that. But I feel like an average normal meal would be, I try and do a variety of animals. So instead of just giving my kid like one thing, I think they like to see different options. So burger patties, fry up some bread cheese, do some bacon, and do a steak and slice it up and serve it family style. That would be a go-to. That'd be a go-to winner.
I can't find any bread cheese. Where do you get that?
Online. I got a discount code for you too.
Okay, I'll go find it, or you can put it in the private chat if you'd like, or wherever. Email it. Ketogregorian Becky says, "Will your cookbook be divided up in categories like appetizers, soups, main dishes, desserts, or by meals?" Breakfast, lunch, dinners. What is your approach, or can you talk about it?
Yeah, right now, like the first one you listed, like appetizers, we have soups and salads. Figuring out a name for the main dishes. I'll have some comforting classics in there, desserts, and then like an animal-based kids section. I forgot about that. I got to write about that too. Add that to the list of things.
Oh, I need that.
Oh man. That's a lot. So have you found a lot of recipes for the animal-based for kids specifically?
It's not going to be a lot. It will be like smoothies that we do, like more like protein shake smoothies, chicken nuggets, I think mac and cheese. I mean, I probably have like less than 10 in there because I feel like my kids are eating everything else in the book. So it's more of just like recreating kid favorites, and then a little bit on like the why we do it and like our approach to animal based, kind of like what we talked about before with like the education and stuff.
Okay.
I love that.
So is there a recipe that your kids have loved like more than anything else? Just curious. And will it be in the book?
Gosh, I feel like they like everything. Nothing's really standing out. Maybe like the lasagna, I feel like, or like the noodles. I made noodles. That was a hit. It's all a blur. I couldn't even tell you what I made.
I'm ready for this book to come out. I think I saw you post one about I think it was biscuits and gravy, and that just looked amazing.
Was so good.
Yeah.
I remember sitting there like drooling at it for like ever. It was while I was like super carnivore, so I'm like, hey, where can I get this?
Yeah, I haven't made that in a while. That's good. And then pizza. Okay, so that I make that often. Yeah, so I can't give away the secret, but the crust, it's so good.
No.
I will have
don't give away your secrets.
Yeah, I'll have a pizza recipe in there, which is more of like the chicken crust base, so a little bit more protein in it. But this other one, it's like you wouldn't even know. Okay, maybe some people would know, but you can't tell. And so I make that a lot for my kids. And then my daughter, she's 3. She loves the cinnamon rolls. My son's like in on them. I think he wants sugar in them, but my daughter gobbles them up. So that's another one I'm excited about.
Do you do them without any sweetener or anything in them?
Yeah, there's nothing.
Okay.
But
so it's
they're
like fully carnivore then.
And stuff. I feel like the cream cheese and like the vanilla and the cinnamon, it gives it, when you haven't had sugar for a year and a half, you find that sweet taste in heavy.
Yeah.
I think it's so cool because you have a 3-year-old, because Lindsay and I also have 3-year-olds.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so
awesome.
fun.
Yeah, a 3 and a 5-year-old.
Oh, that's so fun. Yep, I'm just below you. I have a 3 and a baby.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm 3 and 1.5. So.
Okay, so you guys are in the thick of it too. Yeah.
Christy has men.
They're men. They're both taller than me. Yeah. I'm perfectly happy with this phase.
That's so cool. I can't wait.
It's great. I mean, they haven't, like, when they leave home, I'll probably cry a few tears. But right now, they're both still here. But like, they can do their own stuff.
So easy for you, right?
It's hard in other ways. I mean, today I dropped my son off for school on time, and yet somehow he was tardy to first period. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm not there. I'm not
distracted on his way to class, I guess. I
guess. Who knows? But other than that,
Mike says my son was 3 once. It's been a minute then, has it, Mike? Oh, Susan says she has a 30-year-old. That's fun. Oh, that's how old I just turned, actually. I just turned 30 in October, so it was fun. It was a good birthday. Yep.
Welcome to the 30 club.
Right.
I think it's going to be my best decade so far.
Yeah, me
I'm so
too.
excited for it. I think that I'm going to be the healthiest I've ever been, and it's just being a mom has always been my dream. So just I'm in that stage.
So
It's awesome.
sweet.
So I wanted to pop up this question so we didn't miss it, but inactive
Oh,
users
yes.
asking, how do you get rid of the oxalate dumping if you came from years of heavy vegetable eating and juicing?
Courtney's
Sorry, I was texting my husband. Hi, Roxy.
So I've heard a
how
couple
do you?
of things. I didn't have oxalate dumping yet that I know of. I've gotten a couple of rashes that last a couple days that are kind of itchy, but who knows what that is? I don't know. So maybe, I don't know. But so I've heard, it's like one of two things. If you're just zero carb and you're having oxalate dumping, it's just every time you lose that fat, you may dump some oxalates because that's where it's stored. And if you just go cold turkey, then you're just gonna dump them as the fat goes and it might take a while.
Yeah.
And if you want to slow it down,
It's your body changing that energy source.
yes.
Sorry, what are you doing?
I've heard, and this is not from personal experience, this is just my watching stuff online thing, and who knows, so I don't know what's true or not, but I've heard if you add in a few, if you take a few bites here and there, your body doesn't think it has to dump it all, so that can slow down the process and maybe not make you so miserable because it's not going to be such an extreme dump. That's what I've heard about it. That is not my experience, nor am I any kind of medical professional. Anybody else?
That, yeah, having some, I would go check out Sally Norton. I feel like she's the queen of oxalate info. I think she does recommend maybe having some tea. I feel like I've seen having tea and because of some oxalates, like you said, keeping some oxalates in there to ease it. But I never had any issues with that. But yeah, check out Sally Norton, her book, Toxic Superfoods. And yeah, that's her niche, oxalates.
Okay.
Awesome.
I actually didn't know about her, so that's awesome. I will have to check that out.
Oh yeah, she's amazing. I
Yeah.
want to get her book.
She wrote a great book.
I have it sitting. I can't reach it, but it's right there. I haven't read it yet. She's very nice. I got to meet her at KetoCon.
You've been a little busy, I think.
A little busy.
So
Maybe when you're done writing your own book, you can read some other people's books. Then you'll have time.
I need to
I just
read
bought a book
these
for the first time in a long time.
to have it be a part of it. The science and the why and all that little chapter in the beginning. That's why I have Why Is My Doctor Told You? I've got Mindy's book. I can't even see the stack. I got Baker. So everyone that's, in this community that's wrote books, I've got their book. I just got to skim through it.
I got to do your research.
Yeah.
They're going to do great. How about we show off Courtney's channel?
Oh, are we going to do that?
Let's do that.
We can do that.
It's a pretty amazing channel, so.
It is.
Oh, you want to spin the wheel first?
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, let's do it. Spin the wheel. Spin that wheel.
Spin that
Spin that wheel.
Okay.
I'm scared.
No, it's
Oh no, there's no scary questions, I don't think.
All right.
No,
Here
I
is
don't
our
know.
Lioness Lifestyle Live, the infamous. No, I'm just kidding. Spin the meaty question wheel, and I'm about to spin it right now.
Ooh.
All right, Courtney, we've hunted down a meaty question for you. So how do you handle meal planning and preparation on a carnivore diet? And do you find it challenging or time consuming?
What a perfect question for her. Wow.
This is right up my alley. Okay. Here's some things that can be helpful. Hard boil or soft boil a bunch of eggs. Cook a few sheets of bacon. Have some cheese if you tolerate dairy. Have some salami. So have those in your fridge ready to go so you don't make a bad choice if you're hungry. I don't really love leftovers. Luckily I'm home. I'm not working somewhere, so I can cook things fresh, but maybe bring an air fryer to work if you can. But you can prep burger patties. So you can squish patties, layer them between parchment. So those are ready to go to cook quickly, or or make a batch of something, like do a roast or a stew or something like that. That does, I feel like those kind of like rewarm the best. I don't like rewarm burger patties or steaks, but like a stew, like a chuck roast like that. What else? Do you find it challenging or time consuming? I don't, because you're not making side dishes with it. Like you're just making one thing while it's cooking. Do some push-ups, do some squats, empty the dishwasher. Like I just feel like it's just so simple. I think that's the beauty of eating this way is it's very mindless. It's just like, okay, what animal do you want to eat tonight? Boom, done.
I especially like when I thaw out a steak and I hand it to my husband and go, okay, go grill this. And he's like, all right. Gets so excited because it's meat. He when we were first married, he was like, what do you want for dinner? I don't know, meat and cheese. It's like, well, that's what we're doing now all the time. So it's so funny.
That's amazing.
But yeah, I love those tips, especially like the having things in the fridge already ready to go. The cheese. I like having like the sticks of cheese in my fridge. That helps me a lot. Because I always try to do meat first. Oh, there's my dog coming in. She wants to be a part of it.
All right.
But yeah, so I am so grateful for you and all your videos, Courtney, as we're looking at your channel.
Oh God.
Oh.
There's me and all my.
You know?
Sorry,
that was great.
Perfect. There we go.
Looks great.
We didn't even get to your weight
look
loss.
at all these
Courtney.
amazing videos. Oh yeah, your weight loss.
We're gonna have to have you back because we
said
didn't.
you said that you've gained and lost the same like 50 pounds over and over and over again. So, and I feel the same way. I have gained and lost weight since I was 16. But yeah, so this has helped you a lot, right? And it's stuck with this actual diet versus other yo-yo diets that you've done, including probably keto, because you did fall off of it. I would say I definitely gained weight when I fell off too, but I just love watching your videos. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I know I've said that a lot, but I will never stop saying it. So.
She's fangirling
because it's true.
It is true. Absolutely.
This is so weird to see. Yeah. I've never like scrolled through my channel like this to see what it even is doing.
It's amazing. I love your butter bites.
I have to say that this collab you did where you were like a crazy person was
right
so
there.
The butter bunchers, that was so funny. I laughed. I watched it so many times just laughing, man. It's great. I know what I like about your channel too is that you realize you're I'll switch it over. There we go. I love how you realize that there are going to be, like the haters, but you're just like, you poke fun at them. You're like, you know what? It's like, I think like one of your more recent ones, you're like, for breakfast, I'm going to be having a stick of butter. No, I'm not going to eat the whole thing. It's just, you're aware of the kind of climate that we have. You poke fun at it. You keep spreading the message and you're positive about it. And that's and also you create obviously great recipes as well that I'm inspired by. And obviously Lindsay is and Christy is as well. Because we were so excited to have you on the show. Like when you said, yeah, sure, that sounds like fun. We were like, we lost our mind.
We should have seen these girls.
We were fangirling in our little group chat.
They were. Yeah, they were. You couldn't even talk to them.
I don't even know how many exclamation points I used, but it was at least 20.
You're so sweet. Well, thank you. It was awesome to be on here. I love it.
Yeah, we loved having you. It was so fun. You're going to have to come back for sure.
Definitely.
Oh, Deb went and subscribed. So you got one new subscriber.
Yay. Thanks, Deb.
There you go.
Deb.
Maybe she didn't hear about you before, so that's awesome. I mean, if she did, she would have subscribed already. So, but yeah, do you want to take us out with our roar at the end of our stream? We always do a lioness roar.
I didn't tell her about that.
Well, we're gonna do it.
We didn't do it last week.
It doesn't have to be super loud, but it has to be good.
We're all roaring together.
Well, we'll all roar together. We'll count down. Okay.
Get ready.
3, 2, 1. it all by myself for a
Courtney
second
on
there.
board with us. Oh, and before we sign off, Courtney, here's one more for you. Becky subscribed to your channel because she hadn't heard of you today. So there you go.
Yay!
Thank you,
I'm
Becky.
so
You're
glad
awesome.
that we could have you. I
And
just love
Mike
you.
says our show needs to be 2 hours because we're he didn't say we're amazing.
Well, we are
I
just
thought it myself.
Well, I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us.
Yep.
Anyway,
See you next week.
should we go?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.